Flashback Moses' first days as king. There is a shift to a grand royal court, where Moses, now dressed in regal robes, before a sea of people. His posture is confident yet humble, his face radiant with the weight of his new role. The people of Cush, men, women, and children, are gathered before him, their eyes filled with expectation.
When I took the throne, the land was at war. We'd been besieging a city for years, and our people hadn't seen their families in almost a decade. They were broken, tired, desperate. But they turned to me, a stranger, for hope.
The Council of Moses, a group of weary soldiers standing before Moses in the royal court. Their faces are grim, and they kneel, bowing their heads in respect.
The people of Cush asked for my counsel, and I knew that their faith in me was fragile. They wanted victory, but the price of a head-on battle would cost too many lives. So, I devised a plan that would turn the tide of war.
The Stork Plan. A dense green forest. Moses stands at the head of an army of men, each carrying a young stork in their hands. The soldiers climb trees, capturing the fragile birds with expert precision. The air is filled with tension as they collect the young storks.
I ordered every man to catch a young stork from the forest. A strange command, but one from the Most High that would prove vital. These birds were key to our victory, for the serpents, their ancient enemies, would fall before them.
The men work swiftly, catching the birds with skill. As they return to the camp, the tension in the air is palpable. The soldiers prepare, donning their armor and arming themselves with swords. The desert heat intensifies.
Once we had the storks, I gave another command: starve the birds for 3 days. Let hunger sharpen their instincts. Then we would go to the serpent-infested city and use them as weapons.
The serpent battle. Moses, his face determined and resolute, as he leads his army toward the serpent-infested city. The desert stretches before them, and in the distance, the silhouette of the city looms. The camera switches to the vast pit of serpents slithering in great numbers guarding the gates.
On the 3rd day, we rode out, each man with his bird. The serpents that guarded the city were deadly, but the storks, once starved, would devour them whole.
The soldiers release the hungry storks, and they fly swiftly toward the serpents, attacking with precision. The serpents are destroyed in seconds, and the people cheer as the path to the city is cleared.
The serpents were gone. The city was ours. With no loss of life from our army, we conquered the city and broke the siege. And in that moment, the people of Cush knew they had been led by more than a king. They had been led by God.
The coronation, the royal palace, where Moses is crowned as the new king. The people of Cush cheer in adoration as Moses is seated upon the throne. His face is solemn, yet filled with determination, knowing the weight of the crown.
I was crowned that day, but I knew that the true test of a king is not in battles won or cities conquered. It's in the choices you make, the values you hold. I feared the Lord, and so I kept my heart pure.
The end of an era. Moses in prison. The scene cuts back to Moses in his prison cell, his face weary but unbroken. His eyes look up toward the ceiling, lost in thought.
But that was then. Now I sit in a prison, bound by chains, my kingdom lost to the sands of time. Yet I remember. I remember when I was a king, when my word was law and my people loved me. This is the story of how I became who I was before the fall. Before I was here, I was a king. From here, I would become a servant of God.
Please like and subscribe for more content. The story was brought to you by the Book of Jasher, chapter 73. We hope this inspired you spiritually. This is the end of Moses, king of Cush, the real Moses story. We will continue to bring other stories. Please like, subscribe.